Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me today for a video response episode here on the channel. So this is a VR for Mike, baseball collector, who I haven't gotten to know too well personally yet, but I admire greatly for his rich history here on the platform and his great content and amazing collection. And wanted to jump in and participate in this. Thought it might be an opportunity to kind of introduce myself in a different way here on the channel. I tend to be an introvert, and for the first, almost 400 episodes here on the channel, you've seen my hands and my cards, and I still prefer that. It's probably going to be what you'll see going forward, but this seemed like an appropriate contest to use as a reason to flip the camera around and show you, my hobby room here where I make my videos, and give you a face to put with the name and with the content. So don't expect this on the regular, but Mike, I wanted to do this and just kind of give a little bit of a background explanation for your VR. So what Mike wanted, as most of you probably know from watching other VRs or seeing his contest video, is the answer to two questions. What does YouTube mean for you and your hobby? And secondly, who are some people on YouTube that have influenced you or the way that you collect? So at the outset, I just want to say, I'm probably going to repeat a lot of themes that you've heard in other people's videos and video responses. And secondly, please don't be offended if I leave you out for any reason. I've gotten to know dozens and dozens of really amazing, fascinating, interesting people in my year plus on the platform. I'm going to name drop a bunch of them, but if I leave you out, it's not because I don't appreciate you or your content. I'm just kind of winging it here like I do with all of my my videos. So kind of want to answer the question of what YouTube means to me by giving a little bit of a backstory on how I got to begin using the platform. So while I'm relatively new to the YouTube card community specifically, I'm not new to the concept of a cardboard community in general. And the reason I say that, for about 14 years or so before I hopped on YouTube, I wrote a sports card-based blog on the internet, same title as my channel name here, Shoebox Legends, and I loved it. There was an element of being able to enjoy my collection with others, share my passion, connect with like-minded individuals, make friendships, and just enjoy the hobby together as a group of individuals rather than alone in a vacuum. And that's very, very attractive to me. But what sort of happened, and this is not a knock on anyone that I know from the blogging community for sports cards. I still keep in touch with many of those individuals. But after 14 years, I felt a little bit tired of the format. It was a lot of work to scan cards and write lengthy articles. And as my life has evolved, my personal life outside of the hobby, time has become more valuable, and it was a struggle to keep up with it and started to feel a little bit like a chore, quite honestly. And, I ran that blog for 14 years and I never missed a month without a post, and I rarely missed a week without a post, and I typically posted multiple times a week. And it's very difficult to keep up with that pace in that format. And there were other things that bothered me. The social interaction was a little bit limited in print form. And I've found since joining YouTube that the interaction and the community here is actually a little bit stronger. And there's more of that social interaction and sharing of the hobby than there was in blogging. And so I jumped onto the platform about a little over a year ago and have been having an absolute blast. I've posted a new video almost every day. I am every bit as passionate about creating the content now as I was when I first started a year back, and plan to keep going well into the future. And what I love about it is probably the same thing that all of you love about it. And the reason you're watching this video right now, or any of my other content, or anyone's content for that matter, and that is, collecting as a community is so much more fun and fulfilling than collecting as an individual. I want to be able to share my joy and love for the hobby with like-minded people who feel the same way and can appreciate a great card or an interesting pack or an experience of going to a hobby shop or whatever the case may be, a trade that you made, etc. It's just so much more fun to enjoy that collectively and to make friends and form lasting bonds with all of you than it is to collect alone. I could have every card in the world, Mickey Mantle Topps Rookie, T206 Ty Cobb, whatever the case may be. But if I owned them by myself, sitting here in this office alone, there's limited fun in that. And, I would rather watch a Pepino Man video than have a Mickey Mantle Rookie. And I'd rather have, enjoyable chats in my chat thread with my buddies like Peeps and Walk and Balk and Sean Stuff. We've got great text thread ongoing there. I enjoy that more than finding a big vintage card that I needed online. They're both fun, but if I had to choose one or the other, I'm going to choose the former over the latter. It's what collecting should be about, in my opinion. And, as far as influences that kind of caused me to go down this road, there's a lot of people I could name, but I'll stick to one to keep this short. As I said, I'm an introvert. I don't particularly enjoy being on camera, so I'm going to try to keep this brief. And if you've watched any of my content, I tend to gab. So I'm just going to name one who is a very big influence, and that is my friend Eric at Those Back Pages. And he's really, the reason I named him, he's sort of the primary reason that I ended up on this platform, believe it or not. And he may not have done it directly or intentionally, but he's the reason that I'm on here. And the reason being, I knew Eric from way back in the day when he also wrote a sports card blog, believe it or not, many years back. I'm not sure if he talks about it often or if a lot of people know that, but he did. And we had exchanged some communication back then. He's a great guy, super friendly, as anybody that knows him can attest to. And he kind of disappeared from the blogging world over time. And I don't know what made me think of it, but one time, many years after he had folded up shop over there, I just kind of got to wondering out of left field, like, whatever happened to Eric? He was an interesting dude, and I really enjoyed his content. So I searched out there on the internet and pretty quickly found that he had transitioned over and started a YouTube channel, I think back in like early 2018. And I immediately started watching every one of his videos from episode number 1 right on through. I've mentioned this before, but I think they're sort of like an educational library of content of, how to approach this hobby. I love his approach. I love his positivity, which is something that I try to bring to my channel. His genuine enthusiasm and excitement for the hobby. It's contagious, I think. And he's so positive. His mantras of, always learning and becoming a smarter, more informed collector, and there being room in this hobby for everybody and all types of personalities, that really rang true to me. And I just became addicted to watching his content. I would, sit up in bed at night when my wife had fallen asleep, and I'd watch, a couple episodes before turning in for the night and just started slowly working my way through them. And I don't remember at what point it was, but a few episodes in, or a few dozen episodes in, whatever the case was, he sort of removed the camera from his little stand and just showed that he was using basically a cardboard box with a little stand on top of it and a smartphone, and was basically making the point that anybody can do this, and you really should try to do this if it's something you have an interest in. You don't need to be a great personality or a fabulously interesting person. If you like sports cards and you have a passion for sports cards and you discuss sports cards, other people that share that interest are going to gravitate towards you. And he really was kind of hammering home that encouragement of it. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to make YouTube content. You need a 50-cent plastic stand and a phone that we probably all own and carry around in our pockets anyway, and your knowledge and your passion, and that's all it takes to get started. And I sort of let that stew for a few days, and then just decided, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. I hopped in, I made an intro video of how I got started in the hobby, and I showed my childhood binder of hockey cards that I still have to this day. And then from there, just started ripping out content, day after day. And it's been over a year now. I'm having an absolute blast. Another buddy of mine in the hobby, JT, over at Triple Crown 24, he has a saying that I think is sort of like his brand or a catchphrase, that he's adopted in recent years, and that is elevate your hobby. And I don't think JT will mind, but I'm going to kind of steal that line from him, because if I had to summarize in one sentence why I enjoy the YouTube platform and what it does for my collecting, I think that sums it up. YouTube elevates my hobby. I have met so many inspiring, awesome, really cool, fascinating, interesting people that have the same interests I do because of this platform and because of this channel. And so I thank all of you for all of your time spent watching my videos in the first year here, or year plus on the platform. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I truly mean what I said. Collecting would not be half as fun or half as attractive to me if I sat in this room and did it alone by myself. And YouTube is sort of a way for me to invite each and every one of you into my home, into my personal life, share my pickups and my collection with folks that I know will appreciate it. And that honestly means more than the collecting itself at the end of the day. So Mike, I appreciate you putting this contest on. I can't even make the Dallas card show, so if I'm fortunate enough to be drawn, I have someone in mind that I'd probably pass the prize along to, so this wasn't about that. But I just wanted to kind of put it out there, show myself on camera, brave that, I guess in the same spirit of anyone can do it. I'm an extreme introvert. If I can put myself out there and do a VR like this, so can you. And that's really what I want to leave everybody with for closing thoughts is if you're someone who's been lurking in the comments on my channel or anyone's channel and considering jumping into the fray and starting a channel, I can't recommend it enough. I've been fortunate enough to inspire a couple people to start channels since I've been on the platform in the same way that Eric inspired me. And I can pretty much guarantee you that if you're passionate about the hobby and you put in the time and record some videos, you will make a ton of friends and you will inspire someone else in turn. And I think that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. So Mike, thank you again for kind of giving me the courage to flip the camera around and do this video response. Very, very generous of you. Huge congrats on 5,000 subs. That's very, very impressive and well-deserved, given your long track record here on the platform. And to everybody else, appreciate you stopping by. As always, the next video, you'll probably be seeing the hands and the cards again, but I hope this was okay. I hope this kind of satisfied the requirements of the VR, and I really appreciate you giving it a watch. So I will be back in the very near future, as I always say, with some more sports card content. But until then, take care.